Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. This is the player ratings video for Brighton 0, Everton 2. I've just done an instant match reaction, so please be sure to check that one out as well. But this is the player ratings now. So Jordan Pickford in goal. For me, he's getting an 8 because he didn't put a foot wrong today, and he was called upon. And when he was called upon, he got it spot on. It was a free kick on the edge of the box, which is whipped in from the Brighton player, took a deflection, and he had to adjust to make the save. And that's a big save. If that spills past him at 1-1, the whole game changes. So he did what he needed to do in that case. Couple of other efforts from long range, which he dealt with. Most of it was off target for Brighton today. I think they had 4 or 5 shots on target, and Pickford dealt with them all comfortably. His kicking was good. I'm sure Richarlison nearly got in on a goal kick at one point in the first half. He played a nice crossfield pass to Lucas Digne at one point. He was the Jordan Pickford today that he has been for the last sort of 6 months. Brilliant, didn't put a foot wrong, deserves his 8 today. Sheamus Coleman, right back. Listen, we're not going to learn anything more about what Sheamus Coleman is as a footballer. We're all sort of crying out for a new right back, but I mean, bloody hell, he does well considering that he's the man, he's the main man, and he was brilliant today. I'm giving him an 8 as well. It's easy to give these scores out after we've won, but made up with Sheamus today. Initially, the sort of industry getting up and down the right hand side, he seems to be linking well with Andros Townsend. But you know, in the first half, I put excellent positivity, but end product is always a question mark. A couple of crosses in weren't the greatest. We sort of appealed for a penalty off one of them, didn't happen. But he got in behind on a couple of occasions, which one, he pulled it back. Calvert-Lewin was unlucky not to get on the end of it, and obviously he won the penalty as well. It's a great work from him. To still be putting in such an attacking shift like that, he's so important, as he has been for years for us. Brilliant shift from Sheamus. So he gets an 8. Holgate, I mean, I'll group Holgate a 7 today. It's possibly being a slightly harsh because he really did play well today. He looked good stepping forward with the ball, comfortable in possession, the sort of things we know he is good for. He also seemed to defend on the front foot with Keane in behind, which is often you'd think it'd be the other way around. They're both not blessed with great pace, but he's sort of the quicker of the two. He seemed to push forward, which, to be fair, I was watching them the whole game, wary of when the mistake was going to come. The fact that it didn't come speaks for itself. Very assured performance. Holgate let one bounce in the second half, which sort of riled me at the time, but he did brilliantly to get back and put in a great block. So he gets a 7. Michael Keane seems to be the sort of whipping boy this year. If he does anything wrong, it's getting jumped on by the fan base, and rightly so. Almost the way he started the season, he has been poor. Today, he does seem a little bit slow in getting his clearances in and things like that. You always feel like the striker might nip in and get in, but maybe that's just sort of opinions beforehand. There's perception, really. I think he actually did really well, and I think Benitez did well here. We'll get onto Benitez later, but in defending that little bit deeper, it just plays into Michael Keane's game. I think we need to sign another centre-back who has a bit of pace to allow us to sort of step forward, especially in games when we're expected to dominate. We'll always be susceptible to a counter-attack while Michael Keane is there, however well he's playing, because he has to do a 3-point turn every time we turn around. He's not blessed with pace. But great performance today. He gets a 7. Lucas Digne, I'm putting a 7 as well. The man oozes class. I think he probably could have been rated higher, but you just expect it from the man. So he just seems to be that outlet. Each player on that pitch trusts Lucas Digne. If they don't know what to do, it goes out to him. And it seems like we've been watching very similar from Everton sides for the last decade, because we had Leighton Baines, and everything went through him, and now everything goes through Lucas Digne. He likes playing them little triangles when people get close to him. Decore was doing that a little bit. We saw it in midweek Gomez loves to play it out to him and get in there for them triangles, and it always seems to work. The reason he hasn't got an 8, I think, is because his deliveries weren't quite on it, set pieces, but it can't be every time. Can't be expected every time. Up next, man of the match, Allen. He's getting a 9 for me. Absolutely brilliant today. Nearly swore then. He was fantastic. This is exactly what you want to see from an Everton midfielder. Full of energy, breaking the play up, not being intimidated by Basuma, for example. Although I think Decore was mainly marshalling Basuma in the game, pressing a little bit higher than Allen, who was deeper. You expected him to almost just do that role where he was patrolling, and a couple of times I remember Brighton had sort of counter-attacked themselves when we tried to come forward. We were tentatively coming forward early on, and Allen was in there breaking it up and getting around the pitch. He seemed like he was everywhere, breaking the play up. But once he got it, the assuredness to pick out a black and orange shirt. So brilliant from him. And then the way we're playing this season. In fact, Allen today was everything we wanted him to be last season, and he wasn't quite there. Allen, this is the perfect display from him today. It's probably the best I've seen him in an Everton shirt, because going forward as well, he was really measured in his passing play, and it was actually helping create us get on the attack. So the first goal, his pass was weighted beautifully into Damari Gray, who obviously ran at the defender and finished it. So we got the assist from that sort of deep playmaking role, so that's fantastic. Second half started as he meant to go on as well. Lovely ball in for Sheamus Coleman, which created the penalty, which created the second goal. And then he even had a go at Richarlison for his antics surrounding the penalty. I forgot to mention his little back heel in the first half as well. He broke forward and showed that he's got a bit of box to box in him. I think we were shocked on the opening day of the season against Southampton when he actually arrived and had a shot. Couldn't believe it. That was brilliant from him. Broke beyond Calvert-Lewin, back heel into Calvert-Lewin, and that could have been a goal in itself. He could have had a hat-trick of assists today. So next is midfield partner Decore. Brilliant again. He's getting an 8 for me. So Decore, he was sort of initiating that press. He was stepping up higher to Basuma, and I feel like he was the main source of us winning that second ball today. It seems something clear from Rafa Benitez. We know that he's allowing Decore to push on, but he was receiving the ball on the edge of the opposition penalty area, and then you'd see him in our penalty area as well. So that energy that he brings, that box to box, is so influential on a football match. We need it, and it's noticeable when he's not in that team. So fantastic from him again today. His engine does not stop. He should have scored. He had a great counter attack, but the fact that he's there, still bursting his lungs forward to get the chance, is brilliant. Exactly what we need. But he also kept it simple he didn't give possession away on the edge of the opposition penalty area. He kept the attack going. He has a lovely little turn and pass into players. We look threatening because we've got the front players. We know we've got a pace and directness now. But Decore is almost forming the fifth man of the attack. It's almost 5 defence, 5 attack. And that freedom, you can tell he's really enjoying it. And so that's brilliant to see. Andros Townsend gets a 7. Very direct. Again, I was speaking in the other video how he gets us very well from the midfield into the final third. Usually has an excellent delivery. Didn't see that too much today. He did nearly score in the first half. He tried to go low at the near post, forced a good save from the goalkeeper. He also laid in Decore at one point, who should have passed to Gray for a chance we could have scored from. And he's got that experience about him. He is a senior player, and you can tell he's relishing that. You can tell he wins little free kicks to ease the pressure, and something that someone like Stephen Pienaar used to be a genius for doing, just winning them free kicks, take the edge off. And his industry going back the other way, everything that you hate when you're selected in a Sunday League game where you've got to play right wing or left wing, you've got to run back, you think, oh, come on. He does that, no complaints, all the time. He rarely gets beaten. There was a time where he was defending deeper than Coleman. A winger for Brighton dropped his shoulder and Townsend read it. And, that must ease the pressure on the back line so much as well. So he gets a 7. Well done to him. Damari Gray, it took a knock early on, but his positivity is infectious to the players around him. He's loving life at Everton there, and for 1.7 million, I mean, this is almost Sheamus Coleman level of bargain. He looks fantastic. It's the way he loves. Every time he gets it, he's trying to be positive. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out, but you feel like every time, the next time he gets the ball, he's not put off by losing it the first time. He'll go again, and he spearheads so many counter-attacks. We've almost become an exciting counter-attacking team overnight just by introducing him into the team. So an 8 out of 10 for him. He just loves running at players, and you love to see it. Richarlison is about to get the only negative comment really from many of the players. I've got down, he was positive and busy as always to begin with. He sort of loses the ball frequently, but he's normally trying to make something happen, so you forgive him. But it's almost unforgivable the way, not unforgivable, but the way he acted over that penalty was it's borderline disgrace. You put in pressure on Calvert-Lewin even more so than stepping up to take a penalty. The fans don't want to see that. The players in the team, you don't need that. You could spin it on its head and say he's feeling confident. He wants to. He feels like he's going to bury it, but it's clear and obvious. Calvert-Lewin has scored last week from a penalty that he's the penalty taker. So I found that farcical, ridiculous. We've seen it under Martinez before, Morales, and it's the only sour note on it. The fact that penalty's gone in, it's all fine. You can forget about it, but it's the only sort of sour note on a great team performance today, because that's not the actions of a teammate. Calvert-Lewin had to be patient today. So Richarlison got a 6, if I didn't mention that. Calvert-Lewin 7, took his penalty really well, but he had to be patient. His hold-up play was decent when it needed to be. He was up against 2 very physical centre-backs, so the normal game plan of just chipping it into him wasn't quite there. But he got his rewards with the penalty. He came off injured. But, Everton's number 9, banging in goals every week from the penalty spot or not. You love to see it. You love to see his sort of aggression in the celebration with the fans at the end after. Maybe he needs this rest. I hope he doesn't go to England, because he seems like he's been carrying a knock for a little while, and he just needs that little bit of a rest. Substitutes, Iwobi 7. He made an impact on the game. He just looks like he's playing with a newfound confidence. He could fast become a fan favourite this season, which I can't believe I'm saying about Iwobi, because he didn't look like he had it in him. He nearly slid Gray in after a nice passage of play early on. He played Richarlison in, who could have scored, and he seems like he had a nice little nutmeg. He just seems like he's got a bit of swagger about him. So I think Benitez is handling that very well. Gomez also came on for Gray, had a decent effort on target, looked assured in possession. Had a positive impact on the game, but he was only on for while the game was stretched, and it suited him really. It was a good substitution. So he can have a 7. Rafa the Gaffer, here we go. Benitez. It seems like he was the manager no one wanted, but he's the manager that it looks like we needed. He's not afraid to be pragmatic and concede possession to the other team, because he knows possession's not what wins football matches. It can give you plaudits, as Graham Potter's received a lot of them. But we look seriously dangerous on this counter-attack, and if we can just add another couple of players into that mix, whatever he's going to do, there's rumours of Rondon, he'd be a bit more of a backup, but Diaz from Porto could be very exciting if we were to add him in as well. I've given Benitez an 8.5, so he always seems active on the touchline. I think Moyes had a bit of that about him. It's sort of motivating the players through keeping the shape. So I've put down, he would have got a 9, but apparently he rates that more pay up front for them. Mopé, who was absolutely terrible. Maybe it was just today, but gosh, please don't buy him, Rafa. So you could have had a 9. the way he started his managerial career is exactly what he had to do to start winning us over. And I've seen already that he's starting to chip in and win people over. I didn't really want him, and it still seems a bit weird, but you feel like he's going to win us over if he keeps this up. So 8.5 for him. Well done, Benitez. Well done, all the players. And be sure to check out the match reaction video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.